Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Tyrone back with Tech Life. Another great article from Light Reading. I'll leave a link to it in the description so you guys could check it out. So Verizon had a stellar fourth quarter. It was a great quarter. They showed us in this fourth quarter that if they really want to, they can grow. They can grow the consumer base if they really put forth effort. And it didn't really take too much, right? It took, you can say, if you include everything, right, a brand refresh, then you put in I think another big promo, right, is I don't even think it's a promo anymore. I think they might make that a permanent deal, the any phone, any condition. I still think that's a bigger deal. That Verizon is pushing that because now phone upgrades are getting even longer. So that's a higher chance, right? The percentage increases the longer you have the device that it breaks at some point, right? It doesn't have to break like entirely, but a deep enough scratch on the screen where it's no longer acceptable, right? It can really get that detailed, right? The overall device is still fine, but for a good conditioned trade-in, it no longer meets the requirement because it has a deep enough scratch. So Verizon is like, I'll take that. Any phone, any condition. It can be totally broken. You can run over it with a car. Verizon will take it. So as the upgrade cycle increases, right, 36 months, I heard on the earnings call 40 months now. That right there increases the chances of the device being broken or scratched to some capacity that where it's no longer acceptable at AT&T, right? AT&T is right now the only carrier that doesn't really run that promo. So that's a big deal for Verizon, and it's working. And they carried that into Q1. And I've heard yesterday that port-ins for Q1 are favoring Verizon again. So it's working. Even though it wasn't like a huge shift, and it's easily matchable by the carriers, right? It's not like it's something that T-Mobile and AT&T can't offer at scale, right? They can clearly do it. They all have very similar distribution, so they can do it. T-Mobile, matter of fact, T-Mobile does it on the Go 5G Next, any phone, any condition. So it's not impossible, but Verizon did it, and they're eating the cost, and it's allowing them to grow. So they're showing us that they can do it in this fourth quarter. So we would like to see this in Q1, Q2, Q3, right? Gradually continue to show consistency. So another topic that I also wanted to tie into this video is the FWA product, right? There is some expected slowdown on the sub growth, which I don't fully expect because it's not something that Verizon signaled on its earnings call. They not the earnings call, but at the investor analyst day that they had not too long ago, they talked about growing the base, doubling the base from 4 to 5 to 8 to 9 million. So what would signal a slowdown? Right, I don't really understand why there is a big articles coming out on the slowdown, especially now that C-band is getting ready to hit maybe 80-90% of sites, right, planned sites in 2025. And then you got MDU solutions that are coming out. Multi-dwelling units are going to get solutions, millimeter wave, whatever, right? They're going to be solutions for more customers. So a slowdown is kind of crazy to think about. In fact, you should think about an increase, like even higher. I mean, multi-dwelling units might get DAS systems. They might get millimeter wave nodes right outside point to point, right? So it's just something that shouldn't be talked about, in my opinion, right? It should be modest growth or the same, right? They told us they're doubling. So how can you expect, maybe in tier 1 markets, the metro markets, but even there, Verizon is still putting C-band on sites. So I really don't understand the whole notion that that their growth is slowing. And now they're touching C-band in tier 2 and tier 3 markets where they should also be growing. So it's just very interesting to see this type of article and this type of discussion. Maybe Verizon did talk about it on the earnings call. I don't recall where they said that there is subs that their subs are slowing on FWA, but it should just not be the case. Their pricing has been consistent. They do offer a price lock for like 5 years on FWA, so I don't foresee that slowing down, especially as they're touching more addressable markets with FWA. Multi-dwelling units, some of them are large and they have a lot of customers. And if a good amount of them can be served and there's new options, right, optionality, I mean, it's going to lead, in my opinion, to further growth. So just let me know your thoughts in the comments. Just wanted to make this video. Again, Verizon showed us that they can grow. They can grow the base if they choose to. And if they consistently remain aggressive, I think 2025, I mean, they already told us they expect higher postpaid ads in 2025 versus 2024. So that tells us they're going to continue the marketing, the promos, maybe not as aggressive as the fourth quarter for everything, but they're going to retain certain things for Q1, Q2, and Q3 to remain competitive and grow. And then in the fourth quarter, they're just going to go all out again. So let me know your thoughts in the comments. Like, share, subscribe if you're new. Follow my social media outlets. This is Tyrone with Tech Live. See y'all in the next one. Peace.